My roommate called me selfish after I asked her to pay the 4 months of rent she owed me. My roommate Tessa moved in 8 months ago when she claimed her last place had mold issues. She seemed normal at first, working remotely as a freelance graphic designer, promising she'd have rent on time every month. The lease was in my name only since I'd been there for 2 years, and she swore that wouldn't be a problem. Month 1, rent was 3 days late. She said her client hadn't paid her yet. Month 2, a week late. Month 3, 2 weeks late. By month 4, she just stopped pretending to try. The thing is, while she wasn't paying rent, she was upgrading everything in the apartment like she owned it. New throw pillows for the couch I bought, expensive candles everywhere, a coffee maker that cost more than our monthly utilities. All stuff I didn't ask for, using money she apparently had for everything except rent. Last spring, I got accepted into a graduate program I'd been working toward for years. I needed to pay a deposit by a specific deadline or I'd lose my spot. $2,000 due in 2 weeks. I had most of it saved, but Tessa owed me $1,400 in back rent at that point, and I needed it. When I asked her about it, she got defensive. She said she was going through a hard time and I should be more understanding. I reminded her she'd just bought a $300 rug for the hallway. She said that was different because it improved our living space. I ended up borrowing money from my brother to make the deposit. The interest on his loan was eating into my grocery budget, but Tessa didn't seem to notice or care. That's when I started documenting everything. I went through our Venmo history, rent receipts, utility bills, everything. She owed me $2,800 in rent alone, but it didn't stop there. She'd been Venmo requesting me to split groceries she bought, but I started realizing she was charging me for stuff only she ate. Fancy yogurt I never touched, organic snacks I didn't even like. She'd request $40 for groceries, and when I checked the receipts she left around $25 of it was her personal items. I brought it up to our landlord thinking maybe he could help. He shrugged and said since only my name was on the lease, it was my responsibility to get rent from her. If I couldn't pay in full, he'd start eviction proceedings against me. Not her. Me. Last month was the breaking point. Tessa's parents were visiting, and she wanted to take them to this expensive restaurant downtown. She asked if she could borrow $200 because she was short on cash. I actually laughed. I told her she owed me almost $3,000 and she wanted to borrow more. She got angry. She said I was making her look bad in front of her parents and that I was being selfish about money. That word, selfish, I snapped. I told her if she didn't pay me back in full by the end of the week, I was taking her to small claims court. She called me dramatic and said we were friends, that friends don't threaten each other with lawsuits. She ran to our mutual friends saying I was harassing her about money when she was struggling. But here's the thing. When we all met up for coffee that weekend, I came prepared. I pulled out printed Venmo transactions, bank statements, and a spreadsheet I'd made tracking every dollar she owed me. Rent, utilities, groceries she'd overcharged me for, even the $50 she borrowed for concert tickets and never paid back. The total was $3,240. Our friend Jade's face when she saw the number was perfect. $3,000? She said. Tessa, you told us it was like $200. I showed them the receipts for the rug, the candles, the coffee maker, all purchased while she claimed she couldn't afford rent. I pulled up her Instagram showing her weekend trip to the beach, her new designer bag, her daily $8 lattes. Tessa tried to argue that some of those purchases were necessary for her mental health. I pulled up the receipt for the $300 rug on my phone, dated the same week she told me she couldn't pay rent because she was broke. Our friends went quiet. Jade told Tessa she needed to figure this out. Avery said she couldn't believe Tessa had lied to everyone. I gave Tessa one more chance. Pay me back in installments with a written agreement, or move out by the end of the month. She said I was ruining our friendship over money, and that I'd regret this. She moved out 2 weeks later, leaving behind all the expensive decorations she'd bought. I sold them online and made back $400. She texted me from her new place saying I was petty for selling her stuff. I reminded her that since she never paid rent, legally she'd been a guest, not a tenant, and everything left behind was considered abandoned property. She blocked me. My brother got his money back. I'm still in grad school.